Hey guys, welcome back to Cutting Through the Red Tape with your girl LaShonta. Of course, you know it's me, once again, your LaShonta, here to talk about today forgiveness and recovery. Yeah, I said it, forgiveness and recovery. About a month now, I have been plagued with you did not recover well. This is something that we all know the enemy comes in to steal, kill, and destroy. He also comes in to bring about thoughts and things to our mind to let us know that we aren't recovering well, or we're not in a good position, or we're not where we're supposed to be. But I began to think about that thing as it kept replaying in my head. Something kept saying, you did not recover well. You did not recover well. And so when I began to think about what recovery meant, basically recovery is a return to a normal state of health, mind, or strength. It also says it's the action or process of regaining possession or control of something stolen or lost. And as I began to look at that definition, I kept thinking to myself, what didn't I recover? What did I lose that I did not get back? But then I began to think about it in the spiritual world. Sometimes whenever you're in the spiritual world, you have to lose things and not recover those things back. But it's what you receive whenever you lose those things is what you truly gain. And so I began to tell myself that I absolutely recovered well. I absolutely came from a place of darkness into a bright light. I absolutely lost some things that I do not want to recover. So it all makes sense whenever it's telling me, or whenever something is telling me that I did not recover well. And that's okay, because sometimes we don't recover the things that we lost. Sometimes we don't regain those things that we no longer have, and that's okay. But what I do want you to understand is recovery and forgiveness, or forgiveness and recovery, goes hand in hand. Forgiveness tells us that it is defined as a conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment or vengeance towards a person or a group who has harmed you. Yeah. So the only way you can truly recover is to truly forgive. So I come to you today to talk about forgiving. Although someone has hurt you, although something has hurt you, although a group may have hurt you, it is absolutely our responsibility to forgive those who have afflicted us. It's our responsibility to forgive those who have done us wrong. And it's our responsibility to recover the things that we want to recover: our self-esteem. We want to recover being kind-hearted. We want to recover walking upright and being in good standings with Christ. We want to recover joy. We want to recover being alive again. We want to recover the light that we once had. But the only way to do all of those things is to forgive. Forgive the darkness. Forgive the people that was in the darkness with you. Forgive the people that, quote unquote, that we say have stabbed us in our back. Forgive them and understand that they were in a position, or they're in a position, and they need themselves to forgive. They need to recover. They need to understand the process that they're in. And also, we as human beings, we're not perfect. We're not perfect creatures. So we need to forgive other people, and we need to ask for forgiveness, right? We're not perfect. We've all done something in one form or another. We've all said some things that we shouldn't have said. We have all been some places that we have not been. But today is the day that you can recover and you can forgive. And that way, those things will come back to you. Your peace will come back to you. Your joy will come back to you. Your understanding will come back to you. Being in a place of clarity will come back to you, because you're no longer boggled down with not forgiving those who harmed you. One thing I learned about not forgiving someone, at the end of the day, while you sitting at home crying, while you sitting at home sad, while you're sitting at home not going out, not being the joy or of the world to somebody else, those same people are living. Those same people are doing whatever it is that they want to do. Those same people are smiling. Those same people are being grouped up with other people that have wronged you, but you at the house drinking the poison because you don't want to forgive somebody else. So I charge you today to forgive, so that you can recover. I didn't quite understand why I was going through this phase where I felt like I wasn't recovering well, but it was because I was in a state of not being able to fully forgive. And so today, I forgive you. And I ask that you forgive me, so that we can move on to a better place of peace, healing, prosperity, so that we can forgive, so we can have love, peace, and harmony. Okay. And so that we may be able to recover the things that God has destined for us. Okay. So we have things in the atmosphere that's already ours, but because we can't recover, or because we have not recovered well, or because it is taking us a long time to recover, we are unable to receive the things that God has for us. Excuse me. Because the Bible tells us, if our hands are shut tight on the things that we have, then we're not able to receive the blessings that God has for us. So I charge you today to open up your hands, to free your hands, free your mind, free your heart, and free your soul, and forgive those that have done you wrong. Forgive those who are not in a space to even say sorry. Sometimes we have to move on from the apology that we never received. Sometimes we have to move on to a place where we're not going to get that comeback. We're not going to get the person to come back and say, look, this is what I did. This is where I'm at. Can we talk about it? Can we move forward? But because of who I am and because of the heart that I have, I eventually go back and tell those that I apologize. I remember right before I entered into ministry, been 10 years ago, I was texting so many people, calling so many people, asking them for forgiveness from the things that I did, not only from my childhood, but the things that I did from my adulthood. And many of them were confused. Many of them didn't even understand what I was talking about, but it was for me. I had to release that off of me and let them know that at that time, at that place, that I wasn't in a good place. And I needed them to understand that where I am now, I'm asking you for forgiveness. I felt so much better after that. And I promise you, I guarantee you, you will feel so much better after you apologize, or after you forgive someone, or after you have a sit down and tell somebody, listen, I was a child back then. I didn't really know what was going on, but I stand before you today asking you for your forgiveness. Now, we do know with forgiveness comes change behavior. You can't continue to say sorry and then continue to do the things that you do over and over and over again, because at that point, you're not sorry. You're making a choice and you're standing on it. Okay, so forgive, love, let go, so that we can recover the things that are held up for us. Recovery is very important, because you no longer want to be in a standstill position. When you recover, it tells us that you move forward. When you recover, you're actually able to move on to the next chapter in your life. You're able to process and continue to move on so that you can get to the next level. Whenever you are an addict, let's take that for example. When you are an addict, you go through a program, and it's normally called a 12-step program. This is recovery. Most of the time, if you take one step forward and then you mess up, then you take another step back. But if you continue to go through the 12 steps of the process, then they call you a recovering addict. It doesn't mean that you weren't what it was. It only means that you recovered from what you were. Okay. So in the place that you're in now, it's okay. It's fine that you're in this place, but you have to be real with yourself, and you have to understand that in order for me to move on or to climb the steps or to climb the ladder, you have to recover. You have to go through the 12-step process. You have to take it one day at a time, and you have to forgive yourself. That's step number one into forgiveness, is to forgive yourself. Write a letter to yourself. Apologize to yourself. Let yourself know, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay that I was there, but it's going to be a better situation now that I'm in a recovery state. Okay. So forgiving yourself, forgiving those, and then asking for forgiveness as well. And whether they choose to forgive you or not, that's on them. You've already done your part. But I urge you, I charge you, I command you, I ask you, I plead with you to forgive, ask for forgiveness so that you can recover. I wanted to tell you guys that forgiveness does not require reconciliation. Just because you forgive someone, it does not mean that you have to reconnect with them, nor does it mean that you have to forget what that person has done or what the situation may be. A lot of people always say, well, you got to forgive and you got to forget. No, there's nowhere in the Bible that says that you have to forget what someone or what was done to you. It does, however, talk about forgiving. It does talk about forgiving multiple times or over and over again. Why? Because Jesus died on the cross and forgave us for stuff that we did, stuff that we thought about even before we were even here. So yes, we must forgive. Yes, we must go about our life and forgive our brothers and sisters, forgive whatever the situation may be, but it does not require you to reconnect, nor does it require you to forget what it was that was done to you. Because if we do, 9 times out of 10, they'll redo it again and again and again. And we don't want to be stuck in that same cycle of forgiving and reconnecting and allowing those people or those situations to continue to hurt us. That's the whole point of recovery. You're recovering to not do it again. It's perfect. Forgiveness and recovery absolutely goes hand in hand, because once you forgive, you're on the road to recovery. And once you recover, you return no more. Okay. I absolutely love y'all. And remember, if you don't remember nothing else that I said, remember to forgive, not to forget, to forgive, not to reconnect, but to forgive to recovery. Y'all got this. Why? Because I got it. Peace.